Good morning. Today is Tuesday, May 7th, and we're going to review our AR book project, okay? What I'm going to do is explain to you exactly what thinking maps we're going to be using in this project, and I'm going to give you an example of the Racketeer. So we're going to walk through the Racketeer together, and I'm going to show you exactly what you're required to do in your AR book project, okay? So let's first start with the directions, okay? Our overview is you're going to create a thinking map book for your AR book. Whatever book you happen to be reading right now, you're going to create an AR book map, okay? We're going to use The Racketeer, this book we've been reading in class, all right, to demonstrate your understanding of the novel and what's going on in the book, to help you put together the pieces of the text, okay? The first type of book review that we're going to look at is a thinking map, okay? So the first one we're going to look at is a thinking map, and we're going to see exactly what needs to happen in order for us to make sure that we understand the novel, okay? So, Melissa, scroll down, please. So what I've done is I've compiled all of the thinking maps that we're going to be using, okay? You guys are very familiar with the tree map, the flow map, circle map, double bubble, and multi-flow, okay? Scroll down to multi-flow. So here it is, what we're going to do in class together, we're going to do a multi-flow map, okay? We're going to identify the title of the book, we're going to talk about the characters, we're going to talk about the theme, the genre, the point of view, the setting, and conflict. We're going to talk about a protagonist, antagonist, and our supporting characters, and then we're going to talk about conflict, internal and external conflict, okay? Scroll down. Okay, let's first talk about your cover page. What you're going to do is you are going to draw a cover if you have artistic ability. But if you don't have artistic ability, you can print one off from the internet, or you can use a copy of the actual cover of the book. But here's some things that need to be present in the book cover. The first thing that needs to be present is you need to make sure that you include the title of the book, the author, and your name and your period. So let's cover that again. You need the title of the book, the author, your name, the title, and the period has to be present, okay? I cannot give you credit if I do not know who turned it in, okay? Now, that is going to be worth 10 points. Everyone can see the rubric here on the right-hand side. It's worth 10 points, okay? If you fail to do any of those things, it will be taken from this 10-point bank, all right? The next thing is the tree map. We all know exactly what a tree map looks like, okay? I just gave you a perfect example of the branches. So what's going to happen with the tree map, we're going to talk exactly about the characters, okay? The characters of the book. Using literary terms about your book, okay? You're going to label the tree map with the characters. The antagonist, protagonist, supporting character. Then we're going to talk about the theme. Everyone knows the theme of this book. Then we're going to go on to genre, point of view, setting, the time and place, and then conflict, internal, external conflict, then fill in the tree map under each category. This map in particular is going to be worth 35 points, okay? Broken down in 3 sections, a total of 35 points in this section. So say, for example, if you did not do the tree map at all, you would miss 35 points on this project, okay? Moving on, we're going to go to the flow map. You're going to create a flow map of 10 major events in the story, okay? The plot must be very clear in the flow map, writing complete sentences using your best English, okay? So, 10 major events. I'll ask you about a few major events from this book. What's the main event that took place in this text? Yes.
Judge Fawcett being killed.
Okay, so in The Racketeer, one of the main major events is that the judge was murdered, okay? That's a major event that took place in this text. So that would be one of our 10 major events that everything would begin to sprout off from, okay? Moving on to the next section. Then we're going to talk about a circle map. We're going to create a circle map about the main character. Everyone in the room knows who the main character is, correct? The main character is Malcolm, okay? And now, we're going to create a circle map based on his actions, his thoughts, his feelings, and his relationships, okay? The people that come to visit him, his wife, his son, his law partners. That's what we're going to do in the circle map, okay? Describe their relationship and how they interact with one another. This map must include 10 specific details within the circle and at least 2 relationships, okay? There must be at least 2 relationships that you document in the circle map, okay? Off the top of your head, if you had to document 2 relationships that Malcolm from the Racketeer had, what would number 1 be? Yes, Andre, that's correct. Number 1 would be the relationship that he has with his wife, now his soon-to-be ex-wife, because she's filed for divorce. What would another relationship be? Yes. The relationship that he has with his son. The relationship he had with his son before he went to prison, and the relationship he has with his son now that he is in prison, okay? That he doesn't get to see his son. Then we're going to move on to a double bubble. You must have at least 3 similarities and 4 point-by-point differences, okay? You have 3 choices for this map. You can compare and contrast the main character to yourself. So if I was comparing and contrasting the main character to myself, I would compare Malcolm to Mr. Johnson, okay? That would be the first option that I would have. The second option would be to compare and contrast 2 characters in the book. You could compare and contrast Malcolm with Judge Fawcett, okay? 2 characters directly from the text. Then you can compare and contrast this book to another book, okay? There's a lot of popular books circulating around right now, and you can compare this book to, does anyone have a recommendation of a book they'd like to compare it to? Yes.
The Runaway Jury.
The Runaway Jury, okay, another John Grisham text, The Runaway Jury. You can compare The Racketeer to The Runaway Jury, both by author John Grisham, okay? Scroll down, please. Then we're going to look at the multi-flow map, okay? Choose one important event from the book, create a multi-flow event that causes the effect and other things to spiral out of control. Similar to the domino effect, okay? If you knock over one domino, what happens to the other dominoes?
They all fall.
They all fall down, okay? Then there's going to be a back cover. You're going to write a brief summary of the book, what you liked, what you did not like about the book, and your recommendation for who would enjoy reading the book, okay? So my summary is going to be my opinion, the things that I like and the things that I do not like. Walk this way, walk this way. The things that I like and the things that I do not like, okay? We're going to put it together and then make a recommendation for who would enjoy reading this book. Then we're going to bind the book together. Now, do not allow this to throw you off, okay? I'm not asking you to buy a printing press or a binding machine. You can bind it with staplers. You can bind it with paper clips. It's very simple and very self-explanatory on how to bind a couple of sheets of paper. You can staple it in the corner. Staple here, staple here, staple here, and you've just created a book, okay? That's what you're going to do with your flow maps, all right? Scroll on down for me, please. Okay, this is how I'm going to look at your finished project, okay? The first category is the map done correctly and has a frame? The depth and the amount of information. The category, okay? The use of color. Is it neat? Is it creative? This is how the rubric's going to be applied to your AR project. The map is done, it is labeled, and has a frame of reference. 15 points awarded. The information is clearly relates to the and provides insight to the topic. The amount of information exceeds what is required. 15 points awarded. The map is neat, uses color, and is highly creative. 5 points awarded. Moving on. The map is done correctly, however, it's not labeled or it doesn't have a frame. 10 points awarded. The information is generally related to the topic. The amount of information meets the requirement. Walk that way, Ramsey. The map is neat. It uses color but shows no creativity. Only 4 points awarded. 5. The map is not done correctly, and the map is not labeled, contains no frame. 5 points awarded. The information is sometimes confusing, it's very vague, it's inaccurate, and the information that was there was not required. Only 5 points are awarded. The map is messy or uses no color and is not creative. 3 points awarded. There is no map, 0 points. There is no information, 0 points. The map is messy, uses no color, and is not creative, 0 points awarded. So, you can grade yourself according to the rubric provided on the side of each category and on the bottom, okay? Whether you're going to receive 15 points, 10 points, 5 points, or 0 points, okay? Does everyone understand?
Yes,
Before we move on to the
yes.
next phase of doing it together,
Yes.
okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the Racketeer and we're going to walk through the Racketeer together, and we're going to do a thinking map together. Okay, let's start with the title of the book. Can someone in the room tell me the title of the book? Melissa, would you throw me a dry erase marker from the right-hand drawer? Next one down.
Surprised you ain't see it.
Thank you. Can someone tell me the title of the book? The Racketeer, okay? So we're going to start this map, we're going to do it together, and it's not very difficult, okay? Because we just have understood, everyone understands the title of the book, okay? You can actually copy it right off of the cover of the book, The Racketeer. Okay, so now let's talk about the main characters of the book. Can someone tell me who some of the main characters are? Yes.
Judge Fawcett.
Judge Fawcett, okay? So we're going to use a generic term and just say the judge. Who else is associated with the judge? Yes.
Malcolm.
Malcolm. Another character in the book. Yes.
His wife.
His wife. Another character. One more character. We'll move on. Yes.
The secretary.
The secretary. Okay, so what we've done is we've taken care of the characters. We've told whoever's reading our thinking map who some of the main characters are in the text, okay? Then we're going to move to theme. What is the theme of the text? Great. Yes, you are correct. The theme of the text. Corey, walk around the back.
Yeah.
The theme of the text takes place over a suspense. It is a suspenseful thriller to determine who did it, okay? Who murdered the judge, okay? So it is a suspense, and we're going to go through and put suspense. Okay? Who is the point of view? Who's tell us the point of view? Whose point of view is the story written from?
Malcolm.
Yes, okay? The point of view is written from the main character. Where is the setting? Yes.
In prison.
It's in prison. Excellent. And what's the time? Would you say it's current? In the 2000, 2012, 2011? Okay. And what's the conflict? Can anyone tell me what the conflict is that we're dealing with? Yes.
Malcolm is charged with, I don't know what charge for, but he's charged for something not, he basically tried to put himself on, he tried to get himself out of prison earlier.
Yes, yes.
A murder.
Okay, so here's the conflict. Malcolm is charged with a crime, but he did not commit this crime, or he did not knowingly commit the crime. So he's in prison, and he wants to be out of prison. So the conflict we're dealing with is, I'm in prison, and he wants to be out of prison, okay? So, what we've just done in a rough sketch is we've outlined everything that's going to be in your thinking map, okay? So, are there any questions before we move on and close this session out? Okay, great. Thanks very much.